The views and opinions of this video and comments to this channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of this channel's broadcaster. If you have a complaint about something or find the content is being used incorrectly, please don't contact the broadcaster. We ready? Okay, yo. This is Balaclava Diaries. We're toxic, we're talking aggressive. If you don't like it, send a message. We're weed stimulated, educated, top rated, and never baited. I am the OG MacG. To the far left of me, Mr. Let's Party.
You already know. Shout out to my Ravens. You already know AFC North back-to-back champs, 24-25. You already know. No, I lied. 23-24. You already know how we do it.
We're racist on this show. I love black quarterbacks. Anyway, today we have... I like to call this guy kind of like the Socrates of Toronto. Like, hood philosophizing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way the man gets down is like... He's going to look at something from an angle you never approached it at. And then he's going to make you cuss off people in the comments because of how stupid they are. But the content goes crazy. You know, I want to find out his fucking hair ritual that he does at the end of the night. I don't know what this guy's dealing with. He's an artist. He's a man of many, you know, righteous thoughts and wisdom. And, he has big plans for the future, so big it up for Bo Pinto. You don't know.
Bam, 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 bam. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
But yo, fam, like, the world's a crazy place right now, no?
Yeah.
Would you say, like, growing up, you ever thought the world would be like this? Like, do you know, like, this goes to, like, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll put it to Let's, and then you can bounce off him, you know what I mean? Like, growing up, like, you know, when you were looking at, like, Penny Hardaway's and fucking, you know, like...
Honestly, I never thought the world was going to be this crazy. I never thought the world was going to be this crazy. But, like, you know, I'm a big conspiracy guy. So, you know, once I started watching those movies and watching those documentaries, I was like, yeah, man, the time is coming. And then COVID happened. I was like, holy, like, I could not believe what I was getting, what life was about to be like. And now there's a lot more other things coming. You know what I mean? Now they're about to force the one world, one order on us. They're talking about the U.S. and Canada linking up to become one massive place.
I looked into that actually. I was like, what is the possibility of that actually happening? Like, what would have to happen? And apparently, the actual steps that someone would have to take to turn Canada into the U.S. is like, it's extremely unlikely because there's so many steps. Yeah. It's technically possible, but to do it voluntarily would take so many, like every single province would have to agree.
That's not gonna happen, but it's more so like the idea of like the EU, like North America having their own version of the EU, which is like nuts.
I would like to borrow their military. You know what I mean?
I'm not really about the military. I'm just trying to get that you know, that conversion rate to be the same, so I can get some easy kicks, some easy trips. Right? You know what I mean? Like, yo, I can my paycheck can actually go towards something. Like, I don't have to save like 80 paychecks to go on a one flight. Like, fuck, I can just...
The conversion rate right now
it's retarded.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, shit, I said that, but yeah.
To bounce off that, the world, like, you thought it would be like this? Or?
I thought everything was cool until 50 Cent came back into the picture. No, I'm kidding. I thought everything was cool until COVID happened. And then I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, COVID showed me that, like, if the world did go to shit, I would definitely start my own militia. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, I would definitely, like, I wouldn't back down, you know? Like, I would definitely start my own army, and we would be, like, one of the last surviving people. Like, I went off, dude. I went off. I got arrested. Not, like, put to jail, but they, like, put me in handcuffs during the thing.
Is it an army, or is it kind of like a cult thing where you're just, like...
I would, maybe a bit of both, because you got to have some culture in there.
You got to have some die.
Exactly. You got to have some, like, you know, inspiration behind the mission, or else people won't follow you.
You got to have some matching Pinto! Like, you know what I mean? They're just wilding out, like, about to do something crazy to scream your name before the end of it. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
You gotta have some diehards in the game to make it all work.
Exactly. So we're getting philosophical today because we got the, you know, the philosopher with us. You know what I'm saying? This guy, he, you know, a lot of people fuck with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So to the brew, if you had the option to live a painless life, pain-free for the rest of your life.
Emotionally, physically, nothing.
Would you take that option?
That's a great. First of all, that's a great philosophical question. Yeah. Because I think that we actually did live that life before we came to Earth. Okay, so let me break this down.
All right, let's hear this. Before
No, because I think that life is when people are like, oh, I'm spiritual, it's like being spiritual is, first of all, it's lonely and it's boring because you are all things at all times. There's nothing that isn't you, right? You have nothing to relate to. And everything's perfect and blissful. So eventually you're going to be like, yo, what else is out there?
Right.
So if everything being totally perfect and totally omnipresent is your reality, the only opposite that you can have to have a relational experience would be to have negativity, darkness, and pain.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was telling this to someone the other day. I said, I think when angels, like if you talking about like higher consciousness beings that are living in that painless reality,
yeah,
I think they're jealous of us. I think they look down and they say, wow, look at the depths of experiences that humans can have. Right? We wouldn't
like,
feel.
I can't run no battery on no thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but it's not even about the battery.
It's
not about the battery. It's about like, yo, I was able to do that. The man that don't have any pain,
if you
they
can't
can't experience that.
Forbidden fruit.
Forbidden fruit.
That,
if you live in heaven and believe in forbidden fruit, you're getting cast to.
But the
depths.
forbidden fruit is just the knowledge.
Like,
the forbidden fruit is the knowledge of good and evil, right? And when you take that, they say it's a bad thing, but honestly, I think we like coming here as spiritual beings. We like to come down here and have these human experiences because it allows us to really understand what's happening on the other side. That's the thing. Like, so people say like, oh, you know, why do they have war if God is real? It's like, you know, like, because, you know, they have war so that people can understand peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people who want to experience true peace, they need to experience war to really understand that.
Which is,
you know?
a thought. You know, it's a theory. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, peace creates peace. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying the experience of peace.
The whole thing is, us as humans live heavily off dopamine. That's why social media is so big. That's why all these things are so great, right? So it's like, at the end of the day, if dopamine is the main thing and the main course that you're looking for, and all you know is to capture the thrill, whether that be through spirituality, whether that be through jumping out of airplanes, or being a rapper and getting that rave from the crowd, or whatever that is, or just picking up your fucking cell phone and seeing that blue light, right? Us as humans have to kind of learn how to separate from the dopamine and live life, and I think pain is the only way we know how to do so. That's why there's a lot of people within this, you know, new day and age that have self-destructive, you know, tendencies in the way they, you know, treat their partners and so on and so forth.
Through drug abuse and different shit like that?
No, not even that. It's just because the dopamine's not there anymore. Like, imagine being in a relationship where it's like, you go from the honeymoon stage to now you're just dead with her. Yo, it's been 4 years. You've seen every move she got. You know what I'm saying? She did the tongue swirl 10 times.
You seen the splits.
You see, like,
over the balcony. You on a vacation.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
seen it all.
So when the dopamine's now lacking, what is there to do? You got to create a fight. You got to create some type of combustion. This is human nature. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like,
we actually there's a chemical in our body that numbs dopamine if we pursue it through the same path too many times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's like when you watch porn, after a while your thing's just not doing it for you because you always watch the most immaculate big batty thing. Same with a vibrator. When you vibrate your pussy too much, it's just overstimulus for your brain, not even your clitoris, for your brain.
That is a big thing. But so a couple points on that. Like, number one, I think you're onto something here, because I think that the secret to life is hidden in our neurochemicals. Like, the secret to the meaning of life is hidden in our neurochemicals.
For sure.
Our brain has given us pathways to say, you're going to get pleasure from this and pain from this. So, like, our bodies are that secret map showing us to why we're here. Why do we get pleasure? And we get dopamine from everything that allows us to expand. So sex allows us to expand the species. Food allows us to expand our bodies. Socializing allows us to expand our like intelligence. Taking risks allows us to expand our territories. And there's
do
one.
You think this expands to sexual preference?
To preference.
Because think about sexual preference. Sexual preference is something that creates dopamine. When you see something that you're into and you like it, it's like right away. It's like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, it could be a thing about wiring of the dopamine, because here's the other thing that you mentioned. It's like we're getting overstimulated, and then we're doing all this stuff that, like, we're not happy with what's real anymore. There's a lot of depression. It's because we are overstimulated.
No, for sure. That's where most of like in our society now, any itch, any scratch that you have, it can be solved within seconds. Like, and especially because as humans, like most of our dopamines, like wants, they're very like petty things. Like if you want to buy something, if you want to receive sex, you want to get high, like it's all accessible, like through this phone, like whatever it is you want to see, you can get it in a second. So like, I definitely agree with you that like a lot of people within society now are definitely depressed because of overstimulation and lack of like.
Well, that's the thing, bro. People don't know how to access dopamine properly. Too, like you were talking about the girl, right? Like you get bored of your girl, or whatever. Like that's if you don't know how to control your own and manage your own dopamine. Like
that's what
so. For example, like I've never stopped being horny ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, but like it's true, right? So like, and I thought about it, and I was like, okay, if I want to be with the same girl forever, right, or one girl forever, how do I do that? Well, like, what a lot of guys are doing is they'll like have sex, and then they won't bust, and then they'll be like constantly that dopamine and that trigger is like constantly there, and then their relationship with their girl is like solid because they're hacking the dopamine. They're staying constantly like locked in.
This is called edging. Yes, I've heard of this before.
This is madness. So
it's called retention too. Like
men are not busting when they're crushing their girl.
Yeah.
The thing is, bro, I'll do that.
It's
Like
also like a super like alpha masculine move to show your thing. I'm not nutting.
yeah, if they can
Like,
finish,
I walked
if
you
they
to
can
the
finish,
worst,
and then you're
but
good,
I'm gonna
and you're
walk
like,
away
and
from
you're
this.
good, like they're like,
Come
what the
back to
fuck, you
I know
know?
my girl's crotches is nice, so I'm not even trying to do these type of things.
Don't get me wrong, it's not like you never do it. You know, obviously you still gotta do it, right? But
Big up to Alexis girl. She knows how to keep her man. Big up.
you know, you
You
gotta.
type of
No,
games, bro.
but it's the having that control, and then hacking your brain because you're that's what it is. All the time our brain is running the show and our
But
consciousness
like,
isn't, right?
No, I understand what the man was saying. I understand what the man. I'm not, I'm just
I
thinking.
hear
like,
you though.
No,
Sometimes
it's just
Yeah.
nice.
Sometimes you
Like,
gotta- you can't,
it's
you know?
nice. Like, I don't want to just, like, can't just waste it. Like, it's nice.
No,
you know?
trust me, I feel you. Trust me, I've been there.
That's crazy, man. Because honestly, the world has changed in a lot of different ways, man. And the root is never what's looked at, and we just obliterated that root. If you think about it in a nutshell, if you break it down to every problem that's happening in this world right now, down to these fucking politicians and people that think they can change the world, it's based on social media. Mark Zuckerberg fucked the world in half.
Facebook. Send Facebook mash up the
Not
world.
well. Think about it.
The
That was
dopamine and
the.
all that, yeah. Well, I mean, fucked up shit was happening before
It was
social
happening
media.
before
but
that,
like-
but it wasn't happening
but
to
there
the
was a
point where it's
big-ass
like,
shift.
we want to take over the world.
I don't feel like
You
it's
know,
specifically social media. I specifically
You know?
feel like it's the upgrading of like the smartphone, like having a screen and a camera. Like if it wasn't social media,
That was the conduit, but what changed it was non-stop 24-hour access news, 300 million thousand
Yeah,
channels,
that's-
non-stop access to fucking information. Bang, 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 bang,
For
bang.
sure.
Just
And it's
swipe,
only
swipe,
gonna
swipe,
get
swipe,
worse.
swipe, swipe, swipe.
Definitely.
Like, it's only gonna get worse, man. It's gonna move down to 3 seconds, 5 seconds.
Yo, the videos are getting
know what I'm
shorter.
saying?
The attention spans are getting shorter, but it's all fucking up shit. But let's switch on to another philosophical question for you. All right. So I'm gonna get a little bit dark here. Would you kill an innocent child to rid the world of disease?
One child to get rid of all the disease in the world?
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
do you
probably.
believe in sacrifice?
Probably, yeah.
You definitely would.
Probably.
And then
Do you
like,
believe in
Like,
human
if it was
sacrifice?
my kid, then no.
you know what
You know what I mean?
What if it was your kid?
You know what I mean? And
biblical.
I would
That's some
I'd kill
biblical
everyone
shit.
to save my kid. You know what I mean?
That's some biblical shit right
It is,
there,
no, but
like-
that's a deep philosophical question. That's a
Yeah.
hard one, right? Because we're talking about morals and ethics and all that kind of stuff too, right? So that's a really tough one. But
you're more of a numbers man then.
no, like it's hard to say.
Depends on the number. Like if the number affects me
Well,
more
like,
personally,
yeah,
then
no,
it's
no.
in the world. Like,
No, it's hard to say though, right? Like it's like everything would require nuance and like understanding what the situation was, but.
you create your own nuance in this atmosphere.
situation.
Like,
Sure,
you know,
like
just,
I don't
just
know,
answer
like
it, you
if
know?
it's like okay, this one innocent
Don't wear
child.
the mask right now, man. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
No,
yourself.
okay, I'll be myself. But I
Yeah.
think if it was something like okay, like you know if this one innocent child needs to get killed so that somebody doesn't blow up the whole world with nuclear stuff. If this guy's like, no, I want that guy's kid to die, or else like I'm gonna blow up the whole world, I'd be like, all right, take the L. You know what I mean?
But like, you know, like if like,
So you're like, shoot the hostage. You're like, you're like, shoot the hostage.
I'm negotiate with terrorists.
Put it in his kneecap, yo.
No, I don't know. I think like to rid the world of all disease, but
like
it's
for
hard to
me, like if it was like some like there's evil people in the world, bro. Like, you know, like
Nah,
some
hold
guys who like are like they own insurance companies. You know, that guy died.
I'm not killing that kid because disease keeps the world in check, A, and B.
True.
At the end of the day, bro,
Nah.
there's a way to cure every disease. People just don't have the information.
It's true.
And
Well,
I fully.
Personally,
Personally, I'm a like biology nerd.
you're an this man's a natural herbalist. You know,
No,
like,
like,
turn to a
I'm
Rasta man
a
now.
biology nerd.
I don't
Like,
drink with salt, and
I
made
make
with,
friends
you know,
with nurses just so I can get the access to their fucking their journals, the medical journals
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
can get, so I can read what these doctors are fucking thinking nowadays, yo. So
Yeah.
COVID to me, I can obliterate anybody's COVID conversation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So this
Okay,
guy,
like
he
that.
fucked like 5 nurses. He got the answer to COVID. He's like, all right, I showed the man them now. Showed my brothers how to solve it. You don't even need it. Fuck the monkeypox thing. I have the thing. The shorty showed me. Like,
It's not anything that Shirley told me, fam. It's just the information. Like,
we read like 3 books.
I'm a stickler for the
Volume
info.
1, 2, and 3. Whole
Yo,
1,
okay,
whole 2,
you
whole
made
3.
me forget my whole point. But anyway, hold on. No, I'm gonna
You
get
said
back to
we're
it.
keeping the world in check through disease.
Yeah, so through disease, but the whole thing is they're all curable, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, these doctors and what I think they're kind of paid to do is have these different theories, right? So it's almost like fitness in a sense. I don't know if you guys pay attention to fitness, but you kind of do because it's always around. So it's like Billy Blanks at one point. Taibo was the best workout. Then it was
Right.
P90X. Then it was this and that and
P90X,
that.
bro.
So
No,
it's
it's
just like
Peloton.
these,
Peloton's like the next.
yeah,
newest fad,
Peloton's like the new one, right? So there's
Right.
just always this like marketing,
Like a
fucking
trend marketing.
gimmick and
Yeah,
trend
yeah.
marketing that goes on, and I think it just passes through all systems of life now, right? To break it back to that social media thing, that's what we're getting access to more than anything else.
It's a lot.
So if you are on the pathogen of trying to figure out how to cure cancer, which is curable, and I'm going to say that on this show, I don't care if they come for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing a mask, and my voice has changed. But anyway, the whole thing is this. People don't care to do it. So to kill that child for an obese motherfucker in the United States that has high blood pressure and fucking diabetes and fucking lays in a bed and they're 600 pounds and don't even fucking move and their wife feeds them fucking 7-8 meals
That's
a day.
true. No, that's a
and
good
it's
point.
over 20,000 calories of food a day you're eating.
Right. That's crazy, but yeah.
That kid doesn't deserve to die.
No. You know
I'm
what?
saying?
That's a
It
good
does
point.
actually
A lot of
have, but
these-
like, I
a good
hear what
point.
you're saying.
Fam, and I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of disease, fam, is built off of the way humans treat themselves. So yeah, we have access to
true.
food, but how many people are going to the grocery store and sticking outside of the aisles instead of walking through them? Because
You're
when you
factual.
walk through the aisles,
But this is
that's where the bullshit is.
See,
right?
but see, I
All
hear
the
what you're
good
saying.
food that
I
you're
agree.
supposed to eat is around the grocery.
No, I agree with you,
That's
but
true.
even that shit that you're just around the aisles, around from the produce,
Right.
it's fucked up for you anyways.
No,
in
but-
reality, there's nothing good for you to eat.
No,
in reality,
There
but-
is some
okay.
stuff, but it's just when we're very limited in our.
can
Brother,
prolong
when I
it.
mean
You
like
can
there's
prolong
really
it.
like
So
we're talking about
if
GMOs,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what is
yeah.
a pure
Hold
good
on.
food?
What
like,
I'm trying to say is
nothing.
this:
Not-
you
not
can
much around
prolong
it.
it. You can prolong it.
Yes, you can definitely prolong it by
Hold
going
on.
beyond the
You can
outside.
prolong it and you can make the rate of which you live better. So for example, it's like, you know, big up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, can I say this about the thing you told me about the
Drinking?
Like
Yeah, it's fine, yeah.
So he's not drinking no more. So you've noticed that after not drinking anymore, your body just functions at a higher rate.
Oh, yeah,
You get
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're not on no type of toxins, nothing's in your body.
Yeah.
So you can at least prolong it. You can live a better life. You cannot have bad knees and ankles and all types of shit. That starts from your gut. Doesn't come from anywhere else, fam. Your knee injuries come from your hips or ankles. If you have fat ankles that don't move, your knees are gonna fuck up. You get what I'm saying?
Facts. Everything is facts.
At the end of the day, there is a cure for everything. Are people paying attention to the cure? Are they trying to prevent these things from happening? They don't give
Can I
a
switch my
fuck.
Can I switch my answer
So
now? Or?
I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill that you because
No, that
do they
makes
give
sense.
a fuck? Mans are fucking 15 different things on their cell phone. Raw dog. Does that guy care?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Well, you know what? I'm not changing. I'm gonna kill the youth because it depends on the youth though. Like specifically, like there's some people.
These kids whining in the grocery store. Fuck them kids.
Like no. There's certain people that are evil that their bloodline should not live on. Like
Yeah. It's Hitler's kid.
yeah, you know, like one of those guys.
You
Like,
don't want to fucking.
like, look, you know. Oh, but
Me
you know,
personally, I'm not killing the kid to do that because I just don't. I think people would create disease anyway.
But
They'd
I
find
think
a
that's
way
kind of
to,
the
like-
point, right? I think what I was saying before, our bodies are like the maps to the meaning of what the life, right? So disease is what keeps us on the map, right? When we start to get off the map, we start to disintegrate. Like literally, like we're not integrating into the matrix anymore.
I'm just
The
trying to
whole
say.
thing
I'm
is,
just trying to
if
say.
you want to get even,
I'm just trying to save people from cancer and shit, and like you
No,
know,
but if you want to get
you're out here trying to make people pay for their fucking life mistakes. If you're fat, you deserve to die fat. That's all you
But
got to live.
what
with.
is sin then? What is sin? What is sin if that's the case?
It is the same. It's the same concept. It is the
missing
exact same
the-
Sin,
concept.
karma, whatever
I
you
think
wanna call it,
I think
you
sin
know
is
what I mean?
missing the mark, and I think that like sin is actually the original word of sin comes from archery, and it comes from missing the mark, right? And so like the point is like I think with disease, what he's saying is like disease too. It's like it gets you off the point. If you're getting off the point of life, like even for me, bro, if I'm like walking down the street, right, and someone pisses me off, and then I start screaming at them, the next day, bro, I'm almost always sick. It's like the universe uses disease to show you that like you're supposed to be aligned with love and expansion, right?
You're telling me if I fight the man while he cut me off in traffic and I punch his window, I'm gonna like.
Well, your liver might be
what's
fucked
the-
up the next day. You
Hold
might
on.
have
The
skin
truth to that
breakouts.
is
Right?
this. The truth to that is this. I suffer from sickle cell anemia. Side effect of sickle cell anemia is depression and ADHD. I don't have those two things, but you're more prone to it based on the fact that your blood isn't flowing like everybody else's. So
Yeah,
the
of
whole
course.
disease is this. My blood is thicker than yours. I don't need no iron. I need thinners. You get what I'm saying? So they thin out my blood. I have a better life expectancy, so on and so forth. I take care of that. I pay attention to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how I fucked up my body or my parents or whatever it is, or the white man from Tuskegee who put this disease in my bloodline, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I have to control that narrative. Right? So I could be like, oh, disease and blah, 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 blah. But people look at me every day and they don't even know.
Yeah, and
know
with
what I'm
cancer
saying?
too, because you were talking about cancer, because there's a lot of evidence showing right now that cancer is actually a psycho-emotional disease. So when people get like really tough moments in their life, it's like that's what turns out. Because my grandma, for example, she's in her 80s, she still smokes cigarettes. Why doesn't she have cancer? Right? Because she's chilling.
Yo!
She doesn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't give a fuck.
She's
My grandma does not give
chilling
a
now.
fuck. I'll say what's up. I'll be like, hey, sorry, I haven't, I've been busy. She's like, don't give me the bullshit. I don't care. I'm too old for that. You know? She doesn't care.
I fuck
She
with
doesn't
Granny
care,
still.
right?
I fuck with
Yeah.
Granny. No.
But
Honestly,
that's a
no,
big
but
thing. A lot of
that's-
people too, when they get tumors and stuff, right? So for example, like if someone gets a tumor, a lot of people say when you stop eating sugar, those tumors can go away. Why? Because when people hold tension in a certain area of their body for too long, oxygen can't get to that part of the body. And when oxygen can't go, the body starts to adjust and it starts to send glucose to that area so that it can grow a tumor so that those cells can stay alive even without oxygen. And so then when people do therapy for their cancer and not just doing chemo, they do like emotional therapy and they touch on the things that actually they're holding on to. They let that tension go and all of a sudden they start flooding with tears,
But
bro.
you're pretty much explaining stress-induced cancer.
Yeah, but
Right.
I'm saying a lot, like
Just for like the people who
there,
I
I would go as far as saying there are things that make the stress more possible, but I would say that like there's some evidence showing that like
to take that to a physical level though, the more mucus your body retains,
that's another one too.
Yeah.
Right?
Mucus, stress.
so once your body goes through stress, your body creates lactic acid. Once that lactic acid settles, it turns into something called fascia, which is a mucousy tissue. Cancer cells sit in those tissues.
Because when the cells are covered in mucus, there's no oxygen that gets
Exactly.
in. Right?
So this is what I'm saying. Take care of your blood clot. You see what I'm saying? Take care of your pom clot.
I got an actual blood clot in my lung,
that's crazy.
And I went home with my mom and I said, I'm like, yeah, I had a blood clot,
Pulmonary embolism.
lung, whatever. And she's like, what do you mean? She thought I was just doing Jamaican slang. She's like, what's wrong with your lung? I was like, I got a blood clot. She's like, what? And I was like, no, not. Man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I love the influence Jamaicans have on the city to the point your mom's not even like your mom's hearing.
She didn't even wasn't surprised.
Actually, medical terms, she's like, "You're Jamaican."
Well, no, because I had this whole video once, and it actually was one of my most viral videos, and it was when I kept joking around. I said, "Bumper cart Johnson." And it was like how white people say blood clot.
Yeah.
I'm like bumper cart Johnson. And I laughed because that video did so well, but it was literally, I used to say that all the time. Like before I even made that video.
Organic, bro.
Just jokingly, you know, and my mom sees it all the time. You know?
But yo, on that health tip, pulmonary emboli is no joke, bro. Like that shit.
guy's
Like,
only at
were you
18.
laid up for a little bit off that, or?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't even call an ambulance. I called the Uber.
Well, yeah, we're in the six, so
my
I understand. It's
situation
pretty
is
much better than that.
My
So.
situation is different. I was chilling with my niggas. I fell asleep. I woke up in the ER.
Holy shit.
They told me I had 18 blood clots in my lungs.
In your lung?
Yeah.
18?
18. Spread across like the lung veins.
Holy
Crazy shit.
bro.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Man doesn't take care of himself.
that's what I'm saying. And
Go to the gym,
What
right,
he's saying
bro.
is true though. I smoke my weed. I do my doctor visits. Everything's fucking peachy clean, fam.
Yeah.
Like they do MRIs on me. They
Yeah.
do fucking all types of fucking, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm checking out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
Is that affected by the sickle cell? Is that
Of
why
course.
that happened?
Of
Okay,
course,
that's
man.
crazy, bro. 18.
that was the first time I found out.
Oh shit, yeah.
Wow,
of course.
that's
Because
a
it
crazy.
doesn't hit you. It doesn't hit you till like age 25, 30,
Yeah.
27 years old.
Wow, holy.
That's
Yeah.
shit. So anyway.
All right, let's just switch it up.
Yeah,
All right, here's the next one.
Yeah.
Another scenario situation. You're offered a pill that increases your intelligence by 50%, but you will have no more luscious Palomalu-like hair. This includes your eyebrows, no leg hair, no arm hair, no chest hair. But your intelligence, no facial hair.
Slippery as a
Yeah,
motherfucker.
you're soapy. You're a soapy dog, bro.
I don't know, 50%
Was
is
it
not
Mr.
enough, bro.
Giggles from Austin Powers, the cat?
Yeah, it'd be like a naked. What are those
I don't
cats
know,
right here?
bro. I think I could do without this hair. I don't think I could do without my beard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think I'd trip because like this hair could go at any time. This beard's not going nowhere. You know what I mean? So like I just worry about like I don't know, bro. I'm pretty smart as it is, and I feel like I'm getting
flexing now.
No, I'm getting at least 1% better every day or every year. You know, so
You'll get there one day.
yeah, 50 years, bro. I'm gonna be there with a nice beard. You know what I'm saying?
And some still hair flowing hair.
Yeah,
just
that's
so
a
you
tough
know.
one. That's a tough one. That's a good question.
So
though.
the hair is pretty important to you in life.
Yeah, again, not this hair, but it's more the beard, bro. I don't think I could. I just shaved my beard once in the
That is
last
so
like
funny.
20 years or some shit, and I was just like, no, and I'm never doing this again. Like,
So, this is the realest question I'm gonna ask. The man today, if you were to wear a mask for the rest of your life, what mask would that be? And you can articulate the mask. It doesn't have to.
yeah,
you know,
no, because I like masks. Actually, I'm a big fan of masks. I have a lot at home.
I rate that still.
I used to
Big up
have a Slipknot one. I have like the. You know what? I'm gonna say I think you'll like this one is the V for Vendetta mask.
Man, that's a sick one.
You know?
Oh, why though? Why,
Just
why?
off pure principle. Just you know what I mean? Like, I love that fucking movie. I love it so much. No, it's so good, and it's just like it makes a statement. You know what I mean? Of like revolution. And
Yeah, it's
like,
a deep movie.
Yeah,
Like beyond
dude.
the shooting and the violence. It's very deep movie.
Yeah. No, it's.
let's,
I actually have a tattoo just like from that movie that says "God is in the rain,"
Oh, okay.
Good.
and that's such a
That's a
powerful
big
moment,
statement.
bro. It's like talking about the spiritual ascension. She like comes up in the elevator, opens the door, the rain like touches her skin, and she realized that God is in the rain and God is in everything. And I was like, whoa, like so just off the love of that movie, bro. Probably that one mask.
So,
Okay, sick.
it's a lot of drugs and let's though, for real. What mask, yo?
What I wear? Well, today, I'm wearing Me wearing a Ravens mask today, you know. I want to support the Ravens, you know.
Shut up.
Cause yo, we do this. Yo, I'm on the episode a lot because I got multiple masks. So, you know, you gotta switch it up a little bit. You know, I gotta wear a Ravens mask today. You know, we AFC North champs. You know, got everybody know. What about you, yourself, my brother?
I think I'm wearing it, man.
Yeah.
See,
To
what
be
I'm saying?
honest, you know, like
You're never taking that off.
kill the pussy with the mental, fucking got the drugs, you know what I mean? Content, and kill the game. You know what I'm saying? Like
What's
at the
up?
end of the day, like the whole thing about masks, that's funny to me, and why we draw on this in the show in the first place is that I find that like even with social media now, even more than before, people just find it so hard to be themselves. And what the fuck is self to them? You know what
That's
I mean?
true,
Like,
bro.
is
So many fake
yourself is what
accounts
you
and-
follow? Like, is it the the bio that you put under your fake name?
Right.
Do you
Exactly.
know, like,
And there's never gonna be one version of you that exists in people's minds. You know.
Nah, everybody has a different version of you. Like,
You're the
Nah,
only
man.
version of you that you know is like you're the only person that sees you that way.
no, that's factual because people, you know what I feel like? A lot of people, they hold you in moments of time. So,
Yeah.
like, some people, like, if they see you from high school, they only remember you from high school. You could be like a fucking billionaire, and all of a sudden, yeah, yo, I remember that time you punched that kid in the face with a cap. You're like, fuck, like, I've done so much other things than that. Like, or if your family sees you as a criminal or whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like, unfortunately, people hold you in moments of time.
That's true.
That's what it is. That's how I personally see it. Like, no matter how many masks, how many times you've changed, that person will only hold you until like a moment of time. Like even like your parents, they might only see you as a
their
baby.
kid.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's
like
true.
they see you
No,
as
it's true.
that small little baby. You're like, holy, like you're so much more than that person. But unfortunately, like I feel like a lot of people just hold people in moments of time, and like this goes back to like people like always trying to relive moments or always trying to going back to the dopamine conversation we were having earlier. People are always trying to chase that same moment they want to relive or see
fam,
that person.
why do you think Throwback Thursday is even a thing?
Fam.
Some man, you have a guy on your Instagram that lives on the Throwback Thursday, fam?
Yeah.
30 stories, 300 stories. Like, you remember when I was living like this, dog?
They're going back to 5 years ago and shit, like, bro.
Like this, dog. We was chilling, dog, back in the day.
They're just showing all their shit from their prime, bro. Like, just over and over. Like, it's like, fuck,
And
like.
the prime wasn't even large. Like, they were wearing like
Yes, it wasn't even
they were wearing
large.
like a tattered polo shirt. A big
They had their
belt
whip.
buckle, it's a white belt. with,
Honda
like,
Civic whip busted down.
Yo,
They still
big
had
They're
their
ass-
selling their 1 ounce of weed. Like,
Yeah, oh my god, I take that one personal, bro. I take that one personal, bro. That was my re-up, bro.
Gotta level up. Gotta
For the
level
longest time, bro. But anyway, that was 10 years ago, though. So,
Gotta
you know,
level up,
I gotta have some.
level
You
up,
come a
man.
long way. Come a long
12,
way.
12,
You
maybe
come a
more.
long way.
Yeah. 14 years ago. That was my re-up.
Allegedly.
They don't get high in their own supply.
Allegedly.
What I like
That's a,
about intelligence, fam. Like, intelligence to me is one of the things that I feel like is lacking in the world. And to be smart is one thing, but I think intelligence is the ability to apply smarts and wisdom at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, smarts is cool. Like, you could fucking have the most book smarts in the fucking world. I'm the smartest guy. 2 plus 2 is fucking 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know the fucking square of pi and all that bullshit, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, bro, if you can't apply that to human life and
bro.
create change and create, whatever, mischief or whatever it is, like, at the end of the day, you might have to hate Bill Gates, but you have to kind of respect him. Like, the nigga really is Thanos out here, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
he's fucking up the water supply, the food supply. He's the guy right now. He's just doing whatever he wants right now. He's actually like one of the top
and
villains in the
he
world.
did that from his fucking garage with a computer
Yeah.
and a vision. You
You
know
know
what
what,
I'm
they-
saying?
And
So
some
it's
money
just-
from his parents.
Well,
But you know
yeah,
how it
well,
goes.
you know how it goes.
I-
Top 30 under 30 every year is millionaire parents. every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So it's-
I hear you what you're saying too. It's like intelligence is knowing that you have freedom of speech, but like, or being smart is knowing you have freedom of speech. But having intelligence and wisdom is knowing that you can still get punched in the face. You know what I mean?
But
Facts.
It's like I know what I can say,
but
but I
didn't
also
this-
know I'm like how to operate.
But
You know what I
didn't
mean?
Mark Zuckerberg take that away?
He
From the
did in
moment
a
he
lot
said
of ways,
you could
bro.
just comment
Yeah, bro. He did,
and
bro.
be in your room in your safety of your home with the door locked
He did, bro.
and
This
say
guy,
whatever you
this
want?
guy sent me a DM the other day from an anonymous account. Okay, from an anonymous private account.
Yeah.
On my bike video thing, and he said, yo, open up your comments, bro. This is sus. He's like, you know, you're not letting people comment. He's like, oh yeah, and go get a job. I'm like, bro, first of all, go back to work before you fucking get fired from your one source of income. You know? And I'm like, and at the same time, I'm like, bro, you're on an anonymous account. You don't let anybody comment on your shit ever or put your face out there
this
ever.
Is what I'm trying to say though.
Mark
Instagram
Zuckerberg
took away the deaf ones. No, get the real.
I don't feel like it took away. No.
Think about it. It went from deaf us to murder.
No, I don't feel like
No. It went from deaf us to murder. Cause listen, hold on, listen,
Okay,
and
go,
hear me out. Imagine, right? Imagine, back in the day, before anything could even escalate, you seen a big nigga talking tough, and you're a small guy. You're trying to talk up if you're not strapped.
see what this is.
No,
I
but
don't
hold on, just like old school ways. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. I
Even
feel like
today, it still happens today.
No, I
Because
feel
I
like
see
the
man's get
problem
bossed up
is-
today, but it's not as regular.
No, the problem
because
is we live in a woke time.
woke.
Everything is, it's what is politically correct. So if I slap a man in the face, I'm gonna be wrong because I was the aggressor in the situation. Even the man could have disrespected me or done whatever first.
I don't even
But
care,
because
bro.
I'm
I
the
don't
aggressor,
agree, though.
I don't agree to the
On
situation. But
Instagram, it's that way. But in real
that's a
life,
societal
people are gonna
view.
be like, "Yo, the cops aren't gonna do you nothing."
I'll tell you
because
what.
they're gonna be like, "Yo, this man was instigated. We have 3 fucking what's it called? Witnesses that said you were the one who slapped him first,
Bro.
and then he knocked you out."
That's what happened, bro. I'm telling you, like, this is the hardest part for me as an influencer is like not being an actual influencer in real life. You know, like I'm riding my bike, right? I see this dude. He's like, this motorcycle comes around me, and I didn't care, right? Because he gave me enough space. I was like, whatever. You shouldn't be using the bike lanes, but whatever, right? Comes around me, and then this other dude. This drunk guy goes to push the motorcyclist off, like he sticks his hand and starts pushing the motorcyclist.
The bike? He's on a bicycle?
No, he was just on the sidewalk, just some drunk dude.
Just started pushing him?
He pushed the motorcycle, and the motorcyclist didn't even do anything. But I was quitting tobacco that day, so I was like, I was ready,
You're on
bro.
your edge. You're like, yeah,
I was waiting.
I'm ready to be a superhero today.
You know when people are like, I hope nothing bad happens to me. I was like, I wish today. I wish today. So I stopped my bike and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? The guy goes, fuck you. I'm like, fuck me, like.
Yeah, it's gotta
Bro,
get the charge up. Get the charge up.
I
This
didn't.
man said
I
the
started
whip,
trying
the man
to see-
said the withdrawals.
Yeah, bro.
See, pain
Bro.
comes back. Pain. You need the pain to have the
Bro,
strength.
I picked
You
my
know what I'm
bike up and I smashed him with my bike.
What?
And then I dropped the bike. I started pushing him out of the way. I fucking gave him a couple like roundhouse kicks and like side whatever.
This guy turned to Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I started, look at this. I started sprinting because I hear people going, the cops are coming. So I start running and I turn around and I see these 2 guys like
Hold
running
on,
up
fam,
behind
you
me.
left your bike?
No, I went back to get my bike to leave because I heard the cops were coming.
Oh, shit.
And I turn around and I see these 2 guys like jumping at me. And I'm thinking it's the dudes that I was just fighting because it was me and these 2 other dudes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't give a fuck. I was like, 2 dudes, I don't give a fuck this internet shit. I was like, I already had enough people in my comments, whatever.
This is
so
crazy.
I turn around and boom, these 2 guys in black just fucking hit me. I hit the floor. My face is on the concrete and all I hear is, you're under arrest for assault. And I'm like, oh, thank God it's the cops, you know? Like, so I'm like, I'm complying. And they put me in the back of the car.
Thank God it was the cops.
That's how you know I'm white. You know what I'm dying. No, because I thought I thought it was the 2 dudes that was fighting that coming to chase me, right? So
you know real life.
So that's what I'm saying. And so but the thing is exactly what you were saying. They came up to me and they're like, yo, everyone that was around just said like this guy was acting crazy. We just heard him talking crazy. The guy was drunk. They're like, you can just head home. I was like, yo, thanks, bro.
See?
Let me go, bro.
That's a real life situation.
Because he's white though.
That's true. No, it's true. Hey, it's true. No, it's true. He's not wrong. He's not
Big
wrong.
up to my nigga right here. I seen this guy talk himself out of a ticket with 6 blunts in the whip smoking. Like, the cop opened the car and went like this. He had to back away. You know how they usually put their head in the car? Like,
Yeah,
excuse me. He had to back away because the smoke came out. And the man, we drove off. No ticket. We drove off.
I've been in those situations, but only with.
But that was before
certain
weed
type of
was
friends.
legal.
The thing is, bro, my other friend too, when I saw a guy shaking his girlfriend, so I walked up and I was like, hey, yo, chill out, you know? And the guy goes, fuck you. And I'm like, yo, I just looked at him, I was like, you ready to die tonight, bro? and then his friend came out of nowhere, was like, yo, fuck you. But my boy's from Scarborough down in the native projects, right? He just goes, bah! bah, slaps him one time, bah, slaps him again, bah, slaps him. Bro, cops came out of nowhere, grabbed just him. Okay, it was all a bunch of white guys and my one black native friend grabs just him and starts searching his pockets. And my boy's like, yo, what the fuck? You can't do this. And I was like, bro, just relax. I'm like, let him do his job. He can, based on what he saw, he can do that. I'm like, let him do his job. You're fine. I'm like, officer, we just witnessed an assault, a domestic dispute. We stepped into blah, blah, blah. And the cop just looks at me and goes, all right, just get the fuck out of here. And I told my boy afterwards, I'm like, you're welcome. He's like, for what? I was like, for being your WPR. He's like, what the fuck's a WPR? I'm like, your white person representative. You gotta have one, bro. You gotta have one.
That's what happens when you live in Toronto.
You live in Toronto, like.
I love you, dog. This is my
Shout out my boy.
If you are a
Holding me
real
down.
Canadian, you know about these experiences. You know what I mean? Shout out to being Canadian.
Even if you're American, fam.
No,
you know
these
about
are
one
Canadian
white
moments,
person?
bro. I don't
In
know about
America,
I
it's
can't
even
talk
worse.
about
No,
America, bro.
America is even worse.
I don't know about America.
You
Let's talk about
need,
Canada,
you
bro.
need the one white guy. You need like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
necessity in life. Like I know a white guy like that could get you out of a lot of situations.
Yeah, yeah.
bro.
But I feel like
One,
in
it's
America,
good.
like they make it seem so more like tokenized. Like I feel like
No,
here
America's
it's
like, I'll
it's
kill
like
you. And you're like, oh, Ben, is that you, Ben? And then all of a sudden, the situation's dissolved. Brett's like, what are you doing, man? It's my black friend, man. And all this, everything's
like-
diffused, fam. You need that. No,
But I feel
listen, I'm a realist. Eh? And I've been in sticky situations where, you know,
I'm
white guy
crying,
came
bro.
through and it changed situations.
Yeah.
So,
But I
gotta
feel
be
like
real
I
with
feel
it,
like
you know what I
I
mean?
feel like, you know, in the GTA, like everybody has a white friend. Like it's, you know, it's normal.
Yeah, of course.
Like in the States, it's like you have a white friend.
Don't you
Holy
think they
shit!
talk
Like,
about us like this too? They're like, yo, I go to dance hall jam. Yo, yeah.
no, but I feel like no.
Took me to the dance hall
Yo,
jam.
you
Yeah,
see,
it was
no.
sick, like-
You see, this is like 10 years ago. I'd have been out with you, but now I feel like when I go to a dance hall party, I see two like the other day with my shot, I was like,
in the
what up?
GTA, yeah.
Like, I seen a
guys
Sarah,
know
I
the
seen
real
Sarah, and I
sauces,
seen her man Ken. They're all there. She had her hair braided up. I
In
was
the
like,
GTA,
okay.
you can do that.
And she was in the middle dancing and doing
But
all the things.
listen,
I was like,
But
wow.
there are lots of
The
places in the
white
States that
guys
it's
know-
not like
It's
that.
not like
though.
that. That's
This
why I
guy
feel like
came on me
it's
to
different.
When I was in
Okay.
Chicago,
Okay.
bro, I started walking down the street. I was like, oh, okay. Like,
No, bro.
You know,
In the States, I feel like the idea
it's
of
pretty
like
segregated in some parts.
Exactly. I don't feel like it's here. It's more like
Everybody's around.
everybody's
Yeah.
friends. I don't like. I feel like if there's no way you live here and you don't have like you got an Asian, you got every continent.
Yeah,
covered,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. No
Every
doubt.
continent's covered, bro. Like I just feel like it's not like
we
that
can talk
here.
about race forever. Race never ends. Never fucking ends. Like let's just chill. What strange thing would you appropriate if you kind of like ruled the world? Like if you had full power of society, what strange thing would you change? Would you just say like
That's a good question. If I had total control of society,
if you had like something that would like throw it off? Like if you had total control of society in your power and they said you get one thing to change that's gonna fucking make the world a better place or something.
Money
or a
wouldn't-
worse place.
Money wouldn't be
Depending on
money
who you
wouldn't
are.
have value.
I
That'd
would
be
say
It doesn't have to. You could take away value.
No, I
Whatever
said
you
money
wanna-
would like I would take away the value of like money would be like worthless. Like everything would be based off like
That
actual.
creates
but no,
chaos.
but you know what?
That creates
The
chaos.
only
I
way
know,
to,
but it's better.
I think that would eventually come back though, because money is just a form of exchange that
Yeah.
allows you to like. I like money because it allows you to manipulate time. So instead of like you having to build a house from scratch, you can like trade this with this person, and it uses that to manipulate. Like we as spiritual beings use money to manipulate time.
You know
right?
what I would do, fam?
No.
I would eliminate interest.
See,
Interest?
I'm
I
out
think
here.
if we eliminated interest, period, the world would be a better place.
See, if there's
your
no
loan
money,
is your
it's only
loan.
happening.
Hold on, your loan is your loan. Your phone bill is your phone bill. Your whole life doesn't go up. You can expect it. It's gonna be there. Everybody forgets their interest rate a little bit sometimes. They see their brother like, yeah. What the fuck?
This is why
and they're like,
I'm just taking
yo,
away
it's
money.
the interest, fam.
I'm taking away money because I don't even want to have this conversation, and also I feel like
No, but you need
hold on.
money.
No,
Money
I'm
is
gonna tell
like
you
from-
why. I want to elaborate more because you
money's
see we're
a
talking
real
about
thing.
like disease and shit like this. This is gonna eliminate all the waste suits in the world. So if you are worthless and you cannot contribute to society, you already know where you're going. To the wayside. You can't build something, you can't make something, you can't do something. You're gone. We have no time for the wasteless anymore.
That's kind of what's happening right now, though. To
But
be
would
But
that
I feel
mean-
like
hold
that.
on,
What
would
if?
that
What if?
mean-
But like,
hold
what
on,
if I
wait,
know about
wait,
Bitcoin?
wait. Hold on,
See,
wait,
like,
wait,
I don't.
though.
That goes back. I feel like the idea of manipulating time like goes back to the idea of money. I
How do
feel
you
like
create demand and shit like that? Like,
Fuck
man's
demand.
buying their Jordan with a cow. You're like, yo, I'm dropping a cow off to the Jordan thing. This is what, 14 pairs? Yeah, I'm gonna come like every drop that I wanted. Like, that's not gonna
imagine
work.
to come with the diet. Imagine to come with the truck. Imagine to come with something else.
I think you're kind of
I don't
re-explaining
know about
capitalism, though. Like that is what it is, right?
No, but no, I'm not saying that. No. I'm just
Like
saying
in
we're
some
just
ways it's
doing it a different
bartering,
way.
right? Because
No, bartering would be the only way if there's no money.
I think
Yeah, that's what
I
we
think
got
the
to
only way
exchange services.
the only way no money could exist is if automation was so prevalent that they could just like automate the production of anything. Right, so like if you could automate the production of a house,
Yeah, like,
automate the production of
manpower
food,
and all that shit, like,
automate
how
the
you gonna
production
do
of
that?
manufacturing
Like, you know what I
goods
mean?
and services, like that would be the only way you could do it.
I give you a cow, you work for me for 5 years?
Because
now
if
the cow
everything's free,
can
everything would have to be
produce
free.
you milk and...
We're trading everything for everything.
Nah,
Yeah, but that's
this-
still, like,
you're
even
bringing it back to, like...
Even
Yeah.
if you're doing bartering, it's still trading currency.
Yeah.
You can call a cow, but a cow is a form of
That's
currency
still
if you're
cash.
trading it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had to raise the cow. I had to breed the cow.
Yeah.
I couldn't be I couldn't be a wingsuit to give you the cow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to eliminate wingsuits in the world, okay?
Yeah, but
this
I don't
is
know.
my goal in life.
So why don't you just say that? I want to eliminate waste.
yeah.
That's the real fucking
Then I'm gonna sound like
topic.
Hitler. I'm out here in fucking death squad. What's 2 + 2? 5. Bang! Like,
out
bro,
the
I can't do
lessers.
that, bro. I can't be doing that type of shit. Like, I gotta take out
The
the
undesirables. This guy. This is how problems start.
Exactly. Then
Hold
we're like,
on,
fucking like,
okay.
yeah, yo.
So
This
this
is
is
how Hitler.
this is straight for let's, yo.
All right.
Would your partner still want to be with you if she could read your mind?
Whoa, that's a crazy one. She can read my mind.
Any girl, like any partner you
But I
have,
feel
you
like
know?
because then like no, like because yo, I'm an honest person. Like I'm really blunt, so I have to like hide shit. Like I gotta dress things up. So like sometimes I'll be saying things that like that's fucking stupid. And like I gotta chill. Like I disagree with that statement. How could we better address that? So like if it was raw, like I don't think anybody would want to be my friend. Like you guys really think this guy's a fucking asshole. Like
No, that's
I don't
fair
even think
enough.
this comes down to women. I think it comes down to
Toronto
people
man.
in general. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think anybody would want to be
True Toronto man.
my
yo.
friend. Like no one would
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to be here.
No,
Like
no,
yeah, this
that's-
guy like.
It's a natural judgment system that we have that's constantly operating.
No, I don't think
right?
it's more so judgment. I think I'm just super blunt and I think like really raw. So like I really gotta dress up my talks enough.
Yeah, well, yeah, the subconscious is a fucking
Yeah,
grimy
so
place.
it's pretty crazy.
I
over
know
there.
no girl would want to stay with me if they could read my mind, yo.
I feel
Because
like-
I'm just nasty.
I feel like my
shit
girl-
I think about, yo, like, they be like, yo,
This guy is fuck.
like, I love you, but I can't be with
Yeah, yeah. I feel like my girl can read my mind. I don't know. I feel like she's that intuitive, like.
Oh,
so I
you
would
got
let
a
her,
spiritual.
But that
So
being
hold
said,
on, when did you give up the G code?
what do you mean?
Like, when did you give up, like, when you give up the streets? You're just like, put the game down.
I literally told her, I was like, get me out of these streets.
I called her.
I told her that. I told her, like, please, I won't be in these streets no more. Maybe like 7 months ago.
Oh,
Wait, what day is it today?
fresh now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. This guy has to check his watch.
You're out here love out. You're out here happy. Go love.
Yeah, my shit's doing good, bro. My
You're
shit's
doing
going
good. That's nice.
I'm
Okay,
chilling.
okay. What's up, summer love?
Maybe, yeah. We went to Mexico together and we're like, oh, this is it.
You're tricking.
No.
Slapping some back in the balcony, drinking drinks on the side, tacos.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was a
yo,
good
I met
time.
her in March and June we went to Mexico. That's my thing.
My girl, no.
Yeah, we're going to Colombia too.
Okay, you're gonna read it
You're
just
freaky,
now. It's
bro.
got
That's,
read it
that's
just
her.
now.
That's her birthday present, actually.
Okay, yeah, you're about to read it just
This
now.
guy's
You're
a freaky.
Yeah,
I can tell
yeah,
already.
yeah.
I'm not gonna get into his business, but it is what it is. But bro, let's just kind of go into the life a little bit. Like. Where did all this content come from?
Yeah, you woke up one day, you're like, fuck it. Like I said, I seen you at Objects a couple times. I knew you were making some music, and then I was like, hold up, this guy's fucking super funny, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
thanks. It's nice to hear it in person that like there's some people that fuck with me. You know what I mean?
What's your
Sometimes I read
following?
in the
Shut
comments.
up, yo.
Bro,
You
you're
guys
reading
are
the
like
comments
This guy's
sometimes?
famous.
50K, like.
You're Toronto famous, bro.
That's
No,
crazy,
you're
bro.
famous, bro.
It is.
When you have people arguing in your comments, you're
Yeah.
famous. That's what it is. Like
People
you
are
don't even
waking
have
up.
to leave a comment no more.
Yeah,
people
yeah.
just do
I
it
comment
for
for the first like 20 minutes and then I let everyone else argue.
and
after
then it's
that.
still going while you're sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
People are waking up to argue in your DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're
I
like
blocked
9
people
o'clock, brush my teeth. I'm
No, for real. And you know what I like to do? I like to wait till like the conversation gets real fucking heated, and then somebody's like fucking pissed, and you can tell they keep going back to like fuck this guy, and then I'll block them. And they're like, no, wait. I'm like, yes, my child, it's time to chill out, bro.
Is that the new default?
Yeah. Oh, buddy, my block list is in the hundreds.
Oh, I can imagine.
I block people every day.
It has to be. When you get to that level of following, and
I'm not having it, bro. Because my thing is too, right? I want to build a following of people that really fuck with me.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
if someone says something on my page
I don't
about
think
me,
you should censor it though.
No, it's not even about that.
I think you should know who your haters are. I think haters are fans too, though.
I agree.
You know
I agree.
But I'm taking too far.
But no, but I will let that happen once I get a solid base of like army people that would be like, fuck you.
Oh,
like,
you want a cult following?
Yeah.
For now, he wants people to really like his craft and his art and be passionate.
But like I want to have a group of people that like if someone says something bad, I don't have to argue back. That those people will.
Though,
you know?
infamy and being famous is the same thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like whether you're famous for people loving you or people hating you, they're still buying your sneakers.
Fair enough, yeah. And I don't actually, like I said, I don't even mind. I actually like for me, haters they give you feedback that your friends don't give you, right? So I fuck with that, and I actually do listen to it. Like I don't always take it in.
You have to kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
but at the
I
end
always
of
say
the
this.
day,
Not everything that everybody says is true, but there's truth in everything that's being said. So you can find a little nugget here and there, like that. Your friends won't tell you when you're doing certain things. Like your friends won't, you know what I mean? That's the thing, bro. So some of these anonymous accounts, as much as I'm like, see, the guy the other day called me a goof in the DMs. I was like, aren't you supposed to call someone a goof when you want to fight them? Like, how are you giving me an action word right now when there's no possible way to go about this? You know what I mean? Like,
would you smack someone if they called you goof?
Kind of
It's a verb now. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know goof was a verb. I didn't know it was a
Toronto
verb.
consensus.
So it's a
goof
verb.
is like a
Verb.
fighting word.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a verb.
That's
Okay.
But Toronto has a really short patience. Like in New York, you can be like, "Fuck you, you're a fucking pussy."
Nah.
Blah blah blah. As soon as you say
There's
something
still-
like that,
like,
as
there's-
soon as you say something like that,
It's scrap. It's a
then you have to run. You have to run.
No,
You have to run.
it's very focused though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's get back to how you started how you got the content started.
Sorry.
I honestly, I don't really know. Like, I think, you know what it is? Maybe like 20, I don't even know, 15 years ago, there was this app that my aunt sent me. And she's like, you got to get on this. You got to try this stuff out. It's just this new business I'm checking out. And I'm like, what is it? She's like, you can do shopping on it. Like, you know, you type in something on Google and this app pops up in it. Like, you know, something like whatever. It was just one of those. Nowadays, it would seem normal, right? But back then, it was like a big deal. She goes, you just got to give it away for free. And then you get paid when people use it. So I was like, all right, let me check this out.
Oh shit.
So I gave it to like
Temu.
40. I gave it to like
Affiliate
it's
marketing,
basically
yeah.
it was affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing
And pay per
yeah.
click. So I gave it to 40 people, and then the next check I got or the next month I got a check for $50. I'm like, all right, cool. $1 per person, not bad. You know, I gave away 50 free things. That was easy to do. And then the next week or the next month I got another check for $40, and I called the company. I was like, oh, yo, like, I don't know, I got another check I didn't give any away anymore. And they're like, nah, like that's for people clicking on the app. And I was like, no. I was like, I gotta figure out how to get this to 1 million people, so I'm getting $1 million every month, and I don't have to do shit, you know. So I started looking around. I started hanging out with people at like King of the Dot and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know King of the Dot.
Yeah.
So I started hanging around with them and asking if I could get this app on their channel. Well, they took me on and like kind of mentored me a little bit and showed me that like, okay,
King of the Dot though, that guy, he's produced a lot of businessmen in the city.
Yeah.
Including like, if you think about it, Drake. He took Drake under his wing for a long time too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure.
Like,
Well, they had a good connection. Those two.
yeah, like those guys are brethren till this day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's when Drake was nobody and he was running King of the Dot, like 300 hoodmans in a warehouse.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what
I mean, King of the Dot was, bro, I remember being in high school watching the first battles on like Poe Rich and Kid
Yeah,
Twist, you know, back in the day.
yeah.
So
Toronto
for us,
history
it was a big deal. That was all I knew what was YouTube fame. So I got with them and they started showing me about like target marketing and how basically like the app that I was
This is
doing.
like what, 10 years ago? Like,
More than that, bro. It would have been like
Word.
2008 type of stuff. Holy
shit.
Like,
you got in early, dog.
like
You're
early. So, but that was like, again, just us like watching those stuff and like learning about it. And I don't know when exactly I got in with them, but it was really young. And then I started learning about like content and
But like, yo, honestly, for the longest time, I was never really a content guy. I was a marketer. So I would like market people. And then I used to like take people who had good content and I started to market them. And I got popular for making people popular for a little bit.
Wow, that's cool.
So I had like 100 or plus people that I got over 10,000 followers just by using different marketing techniques. But it wasn't until like right around the pandemic when I started seeing people go viral, like average people going viral. I was like, anybody's going viral these days. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years, and you just did it by accident? I'm like, how do I do this?
You must can do it. I must can do it. You got people famous.
I heard it too many times, and I listened for that stuff. So when I started realizing that, I was like, let me see if I can make some content. So I started trying to make content. I did a couple good things. Some worked, a lot of it didn't. And it was just out of sheer obsession of like, let me see like what works psychologically. And that's what really stimulated me, I think, was just understanding the psychology of what I was doing, right? Like making a video where in the beginning of the video I say, I'm on a mission to try the sketchiest bars in Toronto that you're too afraid to go into. Like every single word down to the order of that sentence was like finely crafted so that I could like stimulate a certain response under 3 seconds, right? Like, so experiencing the psychology of that is what made me so obsessed with it. And then that's when I started just like going and going and going. And that's why a lot of people argue in my comments because like I did that.
But if you think about it,
that's crazy.
That's the basis of social media.
It is.
It is, bro.
How can you capture someone's mind?
What you've done is like
capture their mind.
You've taken the pillars of social media and put it into your own platform.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm gonna use that shit myself because it just makes sense. Like the whole of social media is built off of dopamine.
I have a course where I teach this. It's called the 5 sources of dopamine.
Yeah, right.
How to market with dopamine.
All of those things kind of combined is what makes social media what it is and the conglomerate that it is. So it's like if you can even steal those pillars, you can take a sliver of the pie. I'd say.
That's what
you know what I'm saying? But a sliver of that quadrillion pie, I'll take a sliver.
Bro, you can get huge views. All you have to do is get people's attention, keep their attention, and then get them to engage. And if you understand the fundamental principles of that, you can keep repeating it. You know, and it's the same on every platform. They want to keep the attention so that they can sell more ads and they can make more money, and that's what they're going to reward you for.
So you're basically selling drugs.
I have felt like that a lot, actually.
Just backing it up. I got the scale out.
Yeah,
cooking it down.
orchestrating your own dopamine.
Listen, let's party. We gotta get out of here, fam. Honestly, like this, we need 4 hours with this guy, dog. Honestly,
Yeah, bro, you definitely gotta come back. We gotta do a part 2.
Yeah, we gotta do a part 2.
This is dope, yo.
But yo, tell the people where they can find you on social media, all of that.
At Bo Pinto, Beau, spelled like beautiful, pronounced like bow tie, and Pinto like the car, the bean, and the horse.
All right,
on everything.
All right, yo.
Respect for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yo, follow, like, and subscribe. 3 balaclavas everywhere you go. Done.
All right, yo, shout out. Bang.
No, fam, that was crazy.
All right, we gotta take some photos. Gotta take 3 pictures.